I want you to turn your chair so that the back end is next to you. You have two options here. We're going to do a balancing pose because remember, falling is a greater risk for people living with arthritis, and fear of falling can really get in the way of living your life fully. So you have the option of standing with the chair next to you or facing the chair if that feels more stable and you want to hold onto it with both hands. So we'll start standing on 2 feet, and I also like to think about this tree pose as a metaphor for finding balance in life, because everything is a balance, right? Start by just shifting the weight side to side, and notice that as you shift your weight side to side, your center of gravity moves. If your center of gravity is over your base of support, you'll be able to balance. It's a secret formula. So if you're going to balance on one foot, that means your center of gravity has to shift. If we try to balance on one foot without moving our center of gravity, we're going to fall. So I start by shifting my center of gravity over to the right so that I can balance on that right foot. And then when I feel nice and stable on that foot, I'm going to rotate the other hip open. And I have a few options here as well. So you can come up onto the ball of the foot and bring the heel against the opposite ankle if that feels comfortable for you. If you want to go a little bit higher, you can bring the foot up to the calf. You want to make sure that you're not putting the foot on the knee where it's going to create a little bit of pressure. So your option is to be on the calf or up at the thigh if that's accessible to you and feels comfortable. I'm going to take mine down to the calf. And then we're going to play around with balance. So you can bring one hand to the hip here. And if you feel like you're balancing already and this is a bit of a challenge, stay here. This is your tree pose. If you want to go a little bit further, you can bring the opposite hand to the hip and breathe. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can bring one or both hands up to a shoulder in cactus position or up overhead, whatever version feels good for you. And notice in this pose how you're making a bunch of micro adjustments, and that's a nice metaphor as well, that in order to be balanced, we can't be static or still. We're constantly adjusting and adapting to what changes in the moment, and that's what life with arthritis is like as well. Notice what's happening in the moment and adjust accordingly. Be sure that you're breathing and then release. Give that a little shake, and you can turn around or you can move your chair to do that on the other side. Again, start by shifting weight side to side and find your center of gravity over that left foot now, holding onto the chair for support. Once you feel stable, you can rotate out with the other leg, bring the foot into a kickstand against the supporting leg here or up to the calf or thigh. Again, you have options for the placement of your arms here. Feel free to bring the hands to the hips, to the shoulders, to cactus, or to overhead. And if you'd like to play around with letting go of the chair, even for a second, the more you practice, the longer you'll be able to let go. And isn't that also true for life? Make sure that you're breathing, that you're feeling relaxed in the jaw, the shoulders, wherever it is that you tend to hold tension. See if you can soften in those places. And then as you're ready, release and give that a little shake.